We're doing an interview today. Our trousers. Our shirt. Our scent. And that's the Robocast. I had to do it, but first I have to introduce the man who inspired that. Someone I found from TikTok, a guy who just seems to have his own style, and I have the honor and privilege of introducing him to you on the Rebelcast, Mr. Damien Broderick. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you? Thanks for having me.
It's just crazy that I followed the rabbit hole. I had to go down it. And look, I was never a big fan of TikTok until my significant other just said, just try it. It's not that big a deal. Whatever, TikTok. I got to interview Skulls. She was fantastic, lovely human being. But then she said, you need to look at this guy. I was like, who? Damien Broderick. Whatever. And the first thing you said is, it's Tuesday. Let's get dressed. What started it? What was it about TikTok that you wanted to just show people your style?
I don't know, man. I think I was doing the whole social media thing for years and years. I was like doing the whole Instagram game. I think I had about, I don't know, like 20k Instagram followers, maybe less than 20k Instagram followers. And I was like working on different like collaborations with different brands and stuff for Instagram for years. And then lockdown happened, and then like everybody else in the world, I downloaded TikTok. But that was like in the infancy of TikTok. So basically the entire platform was just like these trendy 20-something-year-olds in America doing these dances. And I was just like, okay,
yeah,
I'm not a super attractive 20-something-year-old that can wear a belly top and do a trendy dance.
Don't sell yourself short, my man, because I'll say this, like I've seen like some of your modeling stuff. You're a handsome cat. And look, I'm straight as arrow. You're a handsome cat.
Look, thank you very much. But like, I just looked at the platform and said, I don't know if that's really, like, I don't know if I'll ever be a creator on this platform, but I enjoy being a viewer because I started to notice there's like, I'm in my 30s, so I was around when Vine was around, and I started to notice some of that Vine-esque humor translate onto TikTok. And then I was like,
yeah, it was a sad day when Vine got cut, and I'm right there with you at 36, and yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like you speak to those of us who miss. I'm not I don't do that whole like thirst trap teeny bop crap. It's just not me. But you speak to our generation, I think.
Yeah, and then that's when I was just like, okay, even if I'm not going to be a creator on this app, I can definitely be like a consumer at least, because I'm finding entertainment through this. And then just my kind of social media hat went on. And I was just like, well, where's this app going? Like, where's it going? Then I started noticing the changes on Instagram. Instagram started to, like even before they introduced Reels, I started to notice they were really pushing the video aspect. And I think their CEO came out and said, like, we're no longer a photo sharing platform. And then I was just like, okay, there's going to be a big shift here coming soon. So if I want to continue, like, I don't really consider myself like an influencer. I suppose I am now that I have the platform that I do. Even when I was working on like influencer brand campaigns, okay, I never really used that term for me. I just always thought like, oh yeah, this is kind of cool. I have a bit of a following. These brands ask me to do this stuff. This is great. But then I was just like, if I actually want to continue this or grow any sort of platform, and regardless of what that platform is, whether it's to like influence people, whether it's to inspire people, whether it's to earn money, whether it's to do all the above, whatever it is, I'm going to need to shift into video in some way, shape, or form. So how do I do that? And I was like, well, TikTok seems to be a purely video-based platform. So again, during lockdown, I was just like, all right, I'll make my first ever TikTok. And I think it was just like, fashion is kind of always what I've done. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, fashion is an easy video to make. But like, if you scroll back to like my very early TikToks, you'll have to do a lot of scrolling because I upload every day. There's like, I'm not even speaking in them. It's basically just like a click finger transition from one outfit to the other, and they're really fucking bad TikToks. Excuse my language. They're really bad.
Look, you can say fuck, shit, whatever. This is your open platform.
They're really bad TikToks. And then, because like I don't film anything on my phone. It's all on my camera. I use like Rode microphones. I use like a ring light plus a big Godox light. So quality is like a big thing for me, both visual and sound.
Okay.
So then I bought a Rode, like kind of, I think it's called a USB something. It's like it's in the other room. But then I was just like, okay, I'll use this to do like voiceover audio, or maybe I'll just speak to it. And then I made a couple of tattoo related videos. And then they seemed to perform really well, and I was just like, okay, what is the?
Let me stop there, because that's another part of who you are. Your tattoos are very like, I'm covered. Like I'm just. That's another thing that caught my eye. Your tattoo journey. We talked before we came on recording, and you're an apprentice. Like what got you into that? I mean, tattoos are a personal journey, I think, for every one of us who get tattoos, but. Let's stop there and ask, like what is it about the tattoos that inspired you? What made you want to start doing tattoo commentary?
Yeah, look, I think like doing tattoo like related videos was just like it was just an easy topic for me to talk on, because essentially I could just like pop a photo up on screen and be like, okay, I'm going to talk about this Japanese tattoo, or this prison style tattoo or whatever, and what its origin story is and what it comes to mean now, blah, all that sort of deal. So making the tattoo related content for social media it was like an easy win. It was like, this is just easy content for me to produce. But then as it grew, it became literally the polar opposite to easy content. It was taking literally days to research 4 and 5 different tattoo origins, like cross-referencing from different tattoo shops blogs and different magazines, and going into the actual history of the art and like where the tattoo actual design came from, because most of them, it's not just someone's idea on a piece of paper. It's an actual real life piece of symbolism that's been converted into a tattoo. So there's literally days going into making like a single 3-minute TikTok, and I was just like, this is just not sustainable at all. And then where the fashion, I kind of built my confidence of like actually speaking on TikTok videos, like my voice being on the videos. And then it was just one day, I was just like, I'm actually getting dressed, and I seen other people do the whole get ready with me videos, and I was like, well, I'm already kind of known for being the fashion guy from Instagram, so I'll just be the fashion guy on TikTok as well. So it was just literally like, I'm just going to get dressed. I'll just document me getting dressed. And then those videos started to perform. And then I just kind of refined my formula over time. Like you'll see, if you watch like 5 or 6 videos, it's literally the same format. It's the same intro, and then the clothes go on in the same order. So yeah, it's like clicks of fingers or a clap, introduce what day it is or what I'm doing that day. And then yeah, I get dressed in the same order. It's trousers, shirt, and then I'll go into like rings, watch, scent, shoes, hat, coat, whatever. Like it's pretty much in the same order, and then it's the same outro as well. And then kind of refining that down into like a formula, so everybody knows what to expect from the videos. Like as soon as they hear the intro, they know what's going to come up. And they get to see the outfit being built. They get to see how I put color combinations together, and they get to see how I can, take 2 different styles, like something that would be considered like kind of classy and formal, but then I can like make it a bit more kind of edgy and rock and roll through simple styling techniques, or with using my tattoos, or how even something as simple as changing your hat from like a baker boy to a fedora goes.
Yeah, I love the fedora. I mean, the baker boy was great, but that fedora really pulled that thing together for me.
Yeah, man, that video, there's no word of a lie. There's probably about 1,000 comments on that video that purely referenced the Peaky Blinders, and I didn't even wear that hat. If I actually wore that hat, people would have actually lost their minds. So
it's the way. Okay, so not to knock. Okay, the old expression is the suit doesn't make the man makes the suit. But with you, I really believe that. Like those videos would not do good if it was anybody else. They wouldn't do as well, because I think if you carry yourself. I know you said, and I've looked. I went back to a lot of your earlier stuff, and you're right. Absolutely, there's been a transition from a guy who was doing this. There was some confidence there, but now, like, you got it. It's when you see that.
Yeah,
get dressed. Like I'm in. enough so that I went back far enough. You just taught me how to do a tie. Okay. I'm 36 years old. I should know how to do a fucking tie. I just bought my very first personal tie. I've never, this is like, I've never owned a tie, but I bought one because of you.
Nice.
And I watched a video and you told me, like, you basically said big side over little side, wrap wrist, 2 fingers, like all this stuff that and you're confident, but you're also saying, hey, I can show you how to do this. You're very welcoming to your audience, and like not a lot of people are like that. And look, behind the scenes, let's break the fourth wall here. I found your YouTube same day. I messaged you. I just said, hey, I don't know if this means anything, but you've inspired me to up my wardrobe game and take care of myself a little more. And within less than an hour, you messaged me back. Goes, that does mean something to me. Thank you. And I know you're going to blow up. I know at some point people are going to see you, and they're going to. But I'm glad that I got to catch you like now before those messages go crazy and people are hitting you up and saying, oh my God, hi, just. You're very personable, and I need people to understand that. Like right now, before everything hits, you're just a normal cat from Dublin who's just doing his thing and living his life, and it's interesting. And I want to know more. But that's what makes great commentary, great channels is you want to know more about that person. You're mysterious in a way.
I appreciate that. It's probably a bit weird being so mysterious, but yet being so open at the same time.
Exactly.
Because like I still find that like regardless of like my TikTok is like I think I started I think it's not even 2 years old, and I'm over 700k already. Like it just kind of as soon as I kind of hit my niche and my formula, it just kind of like went off. But like I still find it really weird when someone says like, oh, I'm a fan. I'm like, no, David Beckham has fans. Like I'm not like I don't have fans. Don't use that word. It makes me cringe. Like we can be a team, or we can be a family, or you can be a subscriber or whatever. Don't use the fan word. It's weird. Or when I comment back to somebody and then like I get a response from them being like, holy shit, you responded. I'm like, well, of course I did. Like you commented on my video. Of course I responded. Like it's social media. The social aspect is so important to me. Like building a community. It's not just like I'm out at the front and everybody follows behind. It's like, no, we're in this together. Like I wouldn't have the voice that I have and the platform that I have if I didn't have like those followers there, if I didn't have those subscribers. And I only have them, and they are so loyal to me because I'm so adamant on the social aspect that like I want to get to know people. I try call people by their names, or like especially if their name is in their username, I'll try comment back to like thank you name, to know like just so people know that I'm not just like generic copy and paste response to everybody. I'm like, no, Grace, Ben, Max, fucking Alvaro, whatever your name may be. Like I'm reading your comments, I'm looking at your profile, I'm responding to you. This is a split second in the day where me and you are interacting with each other, and that's so important to me. From I think that's one of the reasons why my platform has grown. I think because people feel that like I'm approachable and they can connect to me, that I'm not just some weird Irish entity in the small corner of the internet or something.
But to expand on that, like even in our interactions through email, like I felt like I was bugging the shit out of you, and I wasn't trying to. I just wanted to make sure. but you were very like quick to get back, saying good. And I showed you the thumbnail I wanted to use for this, and you're like, brilliant, great. And I'm like, but you're very like again, it comes off as this is you as a human being. You're not. This is not a facade. You're not the some label of Damien Broderick. Like you're not. You're like artist formerly known as Damien Broderick. You're Damien, and this is who you are. Love it or hate it, this is who I am.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's so important. I think, as I touched on before we came online, I think it's social media has this kind of reputation for being like a highlight reel, especially when someone has like a bigger platform. Like I say to people all the time in my comments, people are like, oh, I would dress like this if I was rich. I'm like, dude, I'm not rich. Like I'm not rich.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so far from it. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to get rich, but I'm not rich yet.
Yeah.
But like, and it's just trying to get that across that like, although from an outside view, you might think that I have lots of money and I have X, Y, Z, that like, that's not always the case. And even if someone looks at like my TikToks and goes, holy shit, that is like the dream, the ideal, or whatever. I'm not sure where they would, but maybe they do at some point. But that's why I want to be so open about like the way my psoriasis is flaring up right now. I'm not going to take a step back from making videos. I'm going to make them the exact same way that I did when my skin is great, the same way I do it when my skin is bad. I didn't take a break from making videos when I got a hair transplant.
I love
It's
that.
just
I
like,
love that. I love that. Just to touch on what we first said, you're not rich and you're open and honest about it. Your timepieces, though, oh man, what was it? East Erskine? What's his name? I started looking into it.
the Thomas Earnshaw ones.
Oh
Yeah.
my, those watches are beautiful. I mean, looking into some of that, those watches. I mean, wow.
Yeah, but like I say it in videos, like I've said it loads of times. Like there's full disclosure. Like those, it's the same as like all the fragrances that I own. Like, a lot of the brands send that stuff to me.
Yeah.
They're not paying me specifically to make content on it, but they know if it's in my wardrobe, I'm gonna wear it at some point.
Yeah.
So there is that. Like, and with Thomas Earnshaw now, like we've built up such a good relationship over the last like kind of 2 years or stuff. Like I created a lot of photography content specifically for them. They literally hired me as a photographer basically to take content for them.
Love it.
And now, like, I think just the other day we signed the brand ambassador deal, which is, it's only 3 months long, but we'll probably review it in January.
3 months and 3 months. I mean, like you're doing things that so many people are afraid to attempt. Like just typing your name on Google search, and you see some of these fun. Again, you talk about your skin, you talk about this, and you're, well, I'm not this good, brother. Type your name in Google, and you like some of the most breathtaking pictures of a man that I've ever seen. I'm like, wow, look at this guy. But you're, again, like, you're a humble guy, and look, you've shown videos after your surgery, which we'll get into that, and you talk openly about having psoriasis. You don't hide. That's beautiful. You have to. I'm not trying to inflate your ego, like you. And I watched your video, and you said, "Well, I have a confidence, but now you're just going to give me an ego." But you people need to know that, like, you're 100% you. You're a good looking cat. You don't hide behind shit, and you're just a human being living in this world.
I try to communicate that to people because I can obviously look at the demographic of my followers, so I know that like there's a large percentage of it that are like men like me, like you. But there is a small percentage that are like young guys, and these are young impressionable guys. And like I get asked every day, what's your opinion on Andrew Tate? And we're not going to get into that guy, but I just kind of look at that. I just kind of look at that and be like, I want to be the complete opposite to him. Like, I want to inspire these young men. I'm not saying like you need to dress like me and you need to wear the watches that I wear and you need to go buy a fedora and a flat cap and you need to buy XYZ so you can be me. I just, like, I am unapologetically me. I, like, with psoriasis, with my hair transplant, whatever it may be, like, I'm only 5'8". I'm not walking around like I'm a 6'2", absolute like Adonis of the streets. That's just not the case. But I have unshakable confidence. So, like, I wouldn't be able to do what I do with the amount of views and followers that I have if I didn't have thick skin and I couldn't take the comments. And, you know, for every one bad comment, there is like 1,000 good ones. But I just want to instill that in like the younger people, that was like, you don't have to dress like me. You can dress whatever way you want to dress. I don't care. Like, you could wear skirts and blouses and put your hair in pigtails as a boy. I don't care. That shit is irrelevant to me. As long as you're happy and you're confident and you're like, and you're growing as an actual person, then I'm like, credit to you, hat off. That's all I want for people, is to be happy, confident, and like not just surviving, like, but thriving. Like, that's just so important. Like, life is hard enough as it is without trying to pigeonhole people. Like, no, dress like me, wear a suit, buy a suit and a hat and a tie.
I love that message.
It's
I
just
love
pointless.
that fucking message. Yeah. But we've talked about Thomas Earnshaw. We've talked about your photography. But let's talk about you. You're doing it. You got your own ties. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about your.
Yeah, man.
Let's go into that. And if you want, I'm glad. Like, I'll get the link from you. I'll put it in the description. I mean, I don't know if it'll boost sales or anything, but let's talk about that. Let's talk about your you moving ahead as a businessman.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, but it was also kind of just like, it's either like now or never, because like the audience and demand is there. So it's kind of like, so many brands spend millions of dollars and years and years to try to build a community, like, to sell their product. And I had already built the community, I just didn't have a product. So it's just about bringing out something that kind of aligned with like me as a personal brand. It's kind of like, it's what I wear most time, like almost every day. is like some sort of variation of a suit and a toy. Although like I'm standing here in a hoodie now.
It's cold as fuck, so I get it.
But yeah, I think it was just a case of just like I wanted to bring out a product, and yeah, it was really exciting. It was exciting to see the first batch kind of sell out, and now we're on the second batch. This will be the last one before Christmas, and yeah, we sold a ton of them. The stocks are limited because we want to do things like sustainable. We're not just going to China and buying like a freight load of, €2 cheap ass toys or whatever.
And it has to be quality, right? Like from what?
Yeah, like it has to be. Like I want it. Like even with the packaging, I was so hands on with the packaging. I designed all the labels. I designed the box, how the box like works, the platform inside, how the lid comes off, the actual font on it. Like the font will be like gold foil. Like I done absolutely everything. Is like my fingerprints are all over it. And then the other benefit of doing such small numbers on it was like come the 25th of November when we actually go and ship all these orders out to people in time for Christmas. Although in an ideal world you want to sell like hundreds and thousands of these things so you earn loads of money, but it was more about it being like more of a personal endeavor. Where okay, yeah, there's like a couple of hundred orders, but that means that I can like spend a day or two in a warehouse, myself, packaging people's orders, putting the toy in the box, closing the box.
Yourself, personal.
Yeah, like there'll be a handwritten note inside each individual box.
Stop making me just fucking like this. Like nobody does that anymore. Like
yeah, like
so robotic. It's
even like a case of like when I do the giveaways, like I give away 2 watches on Instagram. It's one of them is actually right here because one of the kids that won it hasn't actually claimed it yet. So it's this like Thomas Earnshaw one.
Oh,
so if he doesn't get back to me, I've messaged him twice and he's seen the DM. Like he left me unseen. I know, ridiculous. I'm trying to give this guy a free watch
for real.
But
I've known about you less than a week, and I want to know everything. Are you into looking at Thomas Earnshaw watches, which are beautiful, by the way?
But yeah, if he doesn't claim that by Friday, I'll do another giveaway. But inside the giveaway, so every giveaway that I do, inside the box comes with one of these, which is a letter, and it has like my family logo, my family crest on the letter, and then I handwrite them a letter, and I'll give that a flash so you don't have to read the whole thing. But I handwrite a letter. It's sealed with wax, which also has my family crest on it, and then that goes inside the box with their giveaway prize essentially, and then I post that to them, because it becomes a lot more personal. It's not just like me, just like, oh yeah, here you go, it's in the post and it's gone. Then I forget you even exist. Like I know like that kid's name is Ryan. I don't know where he's from because he never sent me his address, but like I wrote him a little letter. I'll seal that and I'll send it off, and if he doesn't claim it, I'll give it away to somebody else on Friday, which means I'll rewrite a whole new letter and I'll fold that and seal that and then post that off. I just think like those things are so important because when someone receives that, then they're going to be like, holy shit, like this kid all the way from Ireland, like really appreciates the support that I give him. And I think that's just so important because I wouldn't have the platform or the opportunities that I have if it wasn't for people like Ryan or whoever else, like following along, supporting me, buying my toys. When I said like I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, I want to be able to monetize that because I earn zero money off of TikTok. So Ireland has no creators fund. I earn zero money off TikTok, so I'm trying to grow my YouTube. I put like 2 videos out, and then like literally in 2 days I was up past all the threshold marks to be able to monetize my YouTube. And that's only possible because of the relationship that I've built with the people that follow.
Yeah. I'm going to ask, did you put your camera on, or just because it's a black screen? I don't know if you had.
Yeah, it says it's a black screen, but it says camera's off now, but now it says that it's on.
Are you in a darker area? I don't know what's going
on. I'm not. Let me check settings, camera.
Because I figured I didn't know what. I didn't want to assume anything. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not sure. I'm in the settings now, going like back camera, front camera. Like I set up my ring light and everything else. I just thought it was a thing that you could see me and I couldn't see me.
No. I just thought this entire time I thought that
Which is the I should know this because like social media, the front camera is obviously the one that faces me, and the back camera is the one on the back of the phone.
Yes.
I
think you have to give it permission. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I gave her permission before we came in the thing. Because now, like, if I hit the camera thing down the bottom, it has like it's red with an X through it saying the camera's off, and now
Now the StreamYard can be, especially when you're doing it to the phone, can be a very fickle.
Yeah.
I know that.
Hold on, it says stop mic.
And you're disconnected. Let me get you back in. You're back.
But still no visual. Oh wait, I see something loading. And no, it didn't load.
Which is fine. Like I said, I want them. I mean, I just need them to know who you are as a person. Like I said, like
yeah.
Even in the conversation, like you just. So we were talking about your ties, correct? And
yeah,
pocket squares as well. Are you selling pocket squares?
Yeah, we just launched a couple of pocket squares and trouser suspenders as well.
So okay. Now, like, I love the fact that everything's so personal. But like, when I went and checked, like, I was like, there's nothing I could. It seemed like everything was almost sold out.
Yeah, like the first batch, like they're pretty much all sold out, and then I think is there 5 new toys, 3 pocket squares, and 2 trouser braces or suspenders. So they're all available now, and like they're in low numbers. We do everything in low numbers. Again, it's just more of a sustainable way to do it. So yeah, like I don't know what the future holds for that. I think like they're quite expensive. They're expensive to produce. They're expensive to buy. So like I don't know like how we scale it. Do I like I don't know, like I'm someone that likes, my attention span like flips all over the place. I don't know, like
I got you.
Do you know what I mean? So like I don't know if I just like reel that back and just pump out some t-shirts that say like let's get dressed on it, or maybe it says like Tuesday, like phonetically how I say it. Or I don't know, like do I bring out a t-shirt that just says like trousers, shirt, scent, shoes, or whatever, and then like a silhouette of clapping hands? Like I don't know, I have all these ideas, and I don't know what the future holds for merch or branding. Or
I love every one of those ideas. I love. Well, and I get that. Okay, so with this channel, like you see the Rebellion logo and all that, like there's been such a transition, and people constantly tell me, "Well, you're always changing stuff," and I'm like, because I got another idea, right? Something.
Yeah.
It's like, and I feel like this is better, and I feel like it's I completely understand that. It's just, but it's all quality, and no one can complain. Oh well, my Damien Broderick tie fell apart. No, it didn't, because it's quality. And
yeah, and it's the same like when they get it and the box is there, and they like the whole thing is going to be an experience, not just like the actual feel of the toy, like but opening the box and the toy being revealed and the handwritten note inside, like it's all like I don't know if that's going to be like in 10 years time I'm still producing toys or whatever, but that's what I'm doing right now anyways, and I don't know, like maybe in 10 years time it'll be even better, because like everybody who bought a toy, I'm like, you guys are the only people in the world that have these toys, because it's like it was a limited thing, and that's it, like, so enjoy them.
Well, we've talked about the business side of that. We've talked about how you started, but I want to go into a personal, and again, you put your life out there. You wear your heart in your sleeves. From what I see, your hair transplant. I watched that video and I got a little choked up, because it's like, for a guy who's so confident, who carries himself like he's just, I'm the man in the suit. The suit doesn't wear me. That seemed like it was a very personal, passionate journey. It was a hard decision, and you made a choice. Went to Istanbul. Tell me about that. Start from the beginning. What was, talk about experiencing that, the shot to your confidence, and go from there.
Yeah, like I think like as I say in the video, I started to notice like my hair kind of thinning in like my late kind of teens and early 20s, and it got to a point where I was spending more time like styling my hair to disguise going bald. And like when that becomes like an everyday thing, and it's like, some days it takes a toll on your self-esteem and your confidence, and other days you care less, and like, I became a hat guy because it just became so much easier to just wear a hat and not have to like spend 20 minutes styling my hair in a way that makes it look like it's not receding or whatever else. And then it's always like, I think I say it in the video, like it's always when somebody kind of close to you and has that kind of like, it's a relationship that almost knows no boundaries, so they're not going to worry about hurting your feelings, like whether that be like a husband or a wife, or a brother or sister or something like that. When they turn around and say, "Oh, you're going bald," and that's when you're just like,
shit.
Yeah, holy shit. I need to fix this. And then, like, as I said before, like before we came on this, I have such admiration for people that can just shave it off and rock,
The Bruce Willis.
The Bruce Willis or the Jason Statham thing. Like, and I'm like, I'm a really confident guy, but I'm not that confident. Trust me.
I got you.
And I say it in the YouTube video. I show a clip where they shaved my head, and I said it in the video, like when they were shaving like the side of my head, and you get all this like stubble, and I was just like, oh yeah, this is fine. Then they went into like the middle, and then they shaved, and it was just skin, and I was just like, that made me feel sick. I was like, I'm in the right place, doing the right thing. This is the best decision that I've ever made. I just wish I'd done it earlier. I just knew at that moment when they shaved my head and it was just skin. I knew then if I had went to a barber and said, "Mate, I'm going bald. Let's just shave it off." I knew then and there, if I had went to a barber and he shaved my head, I would have been miserable. I would have been so depressed because I just hated how it looked when it was just skin on top.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a personal thing for me. Do you know what I mean? Because like now after the hair transplant, everybody's just like, "Oh, the shaved head look really suits you," and I'm like, that's only because you can see your hairline.
Yeah.
Only because you can see your hairline, because the transplant put it in there. Like if the transplant wasn't there, it would be a different story.
And to be fair, you have to look at you. You have to be comfortable with you. All right. It's okay. And I think that you expressing your journey. I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but for me, it was like you made a choice for your own self-confidence. That was for you. The hell with what anybody else thinks about you. This is me. I'm Damien. I need to look at myself in the mirror and be able to say, okay, I like what I see.
100%. Like without a shadow of a doubt. Like I think it's always that thing, like when women talk about like when men catcall them and all these other things, and like a woman doesn't wear the pretty dress to make men smile or make get a reaction from a man. She doesn't wear makeup for that reason either. She doesn't go and get like a boob job, or doesn't go get her lips done, or any of those other things for the male gaze. She does that for her. That is a completely internal, personal reason that she goes and does any sort of cosmetic changes to her person, whether that is like temporary like makeup, or if it's something more permanent like breast augmentation. That is a decision that she has made solely for her as an individual. And a hair transplant is no different whatsoever. Any man that gets a hair transplant, I will die on this hill. No man gets a hair transplant for vanity. It's a mental health reason they get a hair transplant.
I completely. You said that, I believe, in your video. I completely agree with that. Like
without a shadow of a doubt, like the impact that it has. Like my dentist got a hair transplant. It was actually him who put me onto the guys, and even like just the difference in him, and like ironically enough, my barber got a hair transplant, and I knew him before and after the transplant, and he's like a different human being. He's literally like a different man altogether. Like his confidence levels went from like, I don't know, maybe like 50 to 150. Like they're through the roof. And that is solely down to like him looking in the mirror and going, I look the dog's bollocks today. And that's because he loves how his hair looks. Do you know what I mean? His hair is down to his shoulders now. Do you know what I mean? He loves it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'll ever grow mine that long. Maybe, who knows? But
I'll tell you this: like afterwards, it looks fantastic, and they did a wonderful job. But when it started, tell me the process. What did you do? Like, when did you decide? Okay, I'm going to go through with this.
I think like I'd already had my mind like made up on it. I was just like, the second it is like viable, affordable, like the second the opportunity comes up to get a hair transplant, I'm gonna get it. Like I'm gonna get it. Like we're saving for a house at the moment. Like the housing, we're not gonna get into the politics of Ireland, but like it's damn near impossible to buy a house if you live in Ireland at the moment. And I was just like, maybe after a house and everything else, then I could get a loan and get a hair transplant, because they're super expensive, especially here in Ireland. And then my dentist was like, I got a hair transplant, and I was just like, where? And he was just like, I got it in Turkey. And I was just like, don't dentists have like a bad thing with Turkey? And then he literally said the words, Turkey teeth, bad. Turkey hair, good. And I was just like, okay. I was just like, okay, you're a medical professional, so I'm gonna trust you. And he put me onto he got in contact with his guys that done his hair transplant, and then they had said, oh, we're actually setting up a whole new business. So like a couple of the surgeons that worked for the company where he got his hair transplant, they've basically all left there and set up their own clinic in
Which
one of
was
the big huge hospitals, Havana, yeah. They set up a big huge like in one of the big huge hospitals and clinics in Istanbul. Like this place looks like you're walking into like Stark Tower. It's insane. And they were just like, this is actually ideal timing because like this guy's like an influencer, and they were all, this is before I even hit 500k. I think I had 100k followers on TikTok. My YouTube was like less than 1,000, and my Instagram was maybe 15k. And I think they were able to see that it was growing. I don't think me or them anticipated that it would grow so quickly and how big it is now. But they basically got in touch and were like, look, we can give you like a big discount on, and the hair transplant is like, I think it was 2,950 euros is what like you would normally pay. Like if you wanted it or if somebody else wanted it, that's what you would pay. And in the video, I break down everything that's included in that price, like your hotel, your transfers, everything is it's all open in the video. There's no secrets there, and I'm very open about like getting a huge discount from the guys in order to, you know, so they took loads of video. They had a video guide there with a camera and a gimbal, and they took like 1,000,001 photos of the procedure and stuff because they wanted, you know, those photos for their website and stuff.
Promotion, absolutely.
So that's when I was just like, in my mind, as I said, like I was ready to do it. I was like, the second the opportunity comes up to get this done, I'm doing it. And then the opportunity come up. They were like, when do you want to do it? And I was just like, say when. I'm like, say when. They were like, okay, how's early September? And I was just like, sweet. So literally booked my flight, sent the guys the flight details. They were just like, yeah, perfect, no problem. See you on the 3rd of September. And I'd say that was probably, from the moment we booked it to the moment I landed in Istanbul, was probably less than 2 weeks. It was like dum dum. It was really quick. Like August and early September was like there was a lot of like physical changes. I got my teeth done from my dentist. I got vampire fangs put in.
I saw that. That was actually kind of sweet. All right.
I got those done in August. I got laser eye surgery in August, and then I got my hair done on the 3rd of September. So like in the space of like 4.5 weeks, I was like a new man. Yeah, so it was all very quick, like, but it was a fun summer. It was a fun summer.
But I'm saying, like, you're happy, you can see the confidence in you. You're just like, and like I said, you took advantage of an opportunity, but you wouldn't have had those opportunities had you not put in the work. So if anybody ever wants to criticize you for, well, he got a discount, yeah, he got a discount because he busted his ass to get what he has. So
yeah, absolutely. I like, and this is the thing. People, especially, again, going back to like my TikTok demographic, I can see where everybody is in the world, where my followers are, like how many from what country, and a lot of them are from like America, Australia, and the UK and stuff like that. And they all have access to a creators fund, and I don't. Like, so if I had 700k followers, and almost every video does like 100k plus views, and I upload every single day, I'm sure I would be earning at least a good amount of money from a creators fund. But I have zero access to a creators fund. So when you see me on TikTok every single day on TikTok, I earn zero money from that. Zero. Yeah. Nothing at all. But I show up every day regardless. And I think that's the difference. So that's
a dedication, you've earned that. Like, I mean, I think, again, I truly believe that I feel like the world works in a pendulum, and we'll go one way and we'll go another way, but never do we ever stay in the middle. And I think that you are the definition of what we need more of. A hardworking cat who's just doing his thing, trying to fucking make it, but still living his life. I'm sure you still have a full-time job. I mean, I'm sure that TikTok doesn't pay the bills. YouTube doesn't pay the bills. I mean, you're doing a tattoo apprenticeship. Like, that's what makes you so interesting and mysterious, and why people want to know about your life, because you're, as interesting as you are, you still seem like one of us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, look, I'm sure you will get criticism. I'm sure you've dealt with criticism as far as YouTube or social media. It wouldn't be social media without the negative. You're going to get that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. But like I always think it's really funny It was like anytime like I get to do any sort of interview about like my social media, I always have to like touch on the topic of like haters and negative comments and everything else like that, because now when my platform has grown to the size that it is, I've seen a shift in the comments. So before, the comments were directed to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now the comments are directed to the comments. So someone will comment, does he,
Mm-hmm.
as in they're waiting for another commenter to respond. It's never, hey Damien, this, because they're not expecting me to respond, because the following is so big, they're not even expecting me to see it. So then when I do respond, generally the reaction is, holy shit, you responded, thanks very much. But then the other side of that coin is when somebody leaves a hate comment, again, they're expecting me not to see it and they're expecting me not to respond. But I respond to every single comment, good and bad. And when it's bad, if you give me shit, you get shit back. That's my rule.
Good man.
That is my
Good
rule.
fucking man. I love it.
Dude, this whole argument of like, oh, ignore the haters. No, like, I'm like, look, I am no big tough guy. Like, I'm not like, I've pretty much never been in a fight in my entire life, right? But if nobody would come up to me on the street and say just some mad random hateful stuff to my face, right? And it's not because I look super tough, well, maybe with the tattoos, but it's not because
it's like, a vampire fangs.
Yeah, but like it's not just because it's me. Like they wouldn't do it to you, and they wouldn't do it to anybody else because of the fear of the reaction.
Yeah.
And my whole standpoint on that is like social media should be no different. I treat social media the same way as I treat real life. Like I speak to people online the same way I speak to like my best friends. There's no difference for me. So when somebody gives me shit online, I give them shit back the same way I would in real life. And what a lot of these people don't realize, I often screenshot their hates and then share it on my Instagram story. So then all of my close friends on Instagram can also see people being shitheads in my TikTok comments. And they also get to see my very witty, creative responses. So,
well, and I agree with that because, like, I mean, at base, I know that some people will say we as humans are savages, but most people don't want confrontation. I've been in a fight or two in my life, but like every time I've gotten in a fight, my guts get all tangled up, and I don't want to fight. It's not something I desire to do.
Like we have evolved beyond that. There's a reason why when we get an adrenaline rush and it feels anxious and you're, as you said, like your guts get all in a tangle, it's because like your fight or flight fucking response is all messed up because we haven't fully evolved beyond it, but we're not primal anymore. We're just like that really awkward in the middle. So when confrontation happens, generally everybody kind of just like gets a bit tense.
We're basically we're domesticated puppies.
Basically, yeah. And it's only the people that like train. There's a reason why like trained fighters, right? There's a reason why these people can go into like a ring or an octagon and beat each other to a pulp. It's because they are conditioned not only to take a beating, but they're conditioned to give a beating.
Like I've told people before, because I've fought and what have you. Some people know I've done professional here and there, but like the first time that you connect with somebody, like if you hit someone in the face, that doesn't feel right. It doesn't, like when your hand hits them and that give, it doesn't feel natural anymore. So, but like I said, like again, your openness about I've never been in a fight, but I'm guaranteeing no one's going to come and instigate shit with me because they're not. That's not what we want to do as people. But
yeah, it's just not how people are. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not how we're.
People are shitheads, and you know, just it is what it is. People are shitheads at times, and
yeah, like I think social media like kind of lends to that, like because there's some sort of like anonymous aspect to it. Like they don't have to put a profile picture, they don't have to put their name to it, so like they're never really gonna have to deal with the consequences of it.
Keyboard warrior, as they say.
Yeah, so I mean, if the direct consequence of them talking shit is me talking shit back, then I mean that's good enough for me. So.
Well, we've talked about your personal, we've talked about your journey, we've talked about your TikTok, we've talked about all of these things, and like again, I want people to understand this is the first time we've ever really interacted. Like we talked 2 days, and we are doing this interview.
Yeah.
I would love to know though, as we start rounding this out, what is yesterday I saw your video where you weren't able to get your electric skateboard. I'm so sorry. That sucks. That sounds like a bitchin' ass fucking thing to do, get an electric skateboard. But what is a day in the life of Damien Broderick? What does a day consist of for you?
So this is the thing. So it's one of the reasons why I wanted to start like the vlog. It's because like every day is every day is different. Like some days are really boring, some days are really exciting. Like for example, I left the house for all of 20 minutes today to run to the shop. Yesterday I spent the whole day in the tattoo shop. Like I filmed some bits for a friend who's doing a really cool tattoo on one of the other guys working there, and I basically just sat around and drew on my iPad and watched tattoos being done. Some people find that boring, some people probably don't. And then yeah, like I'm the type of person that's like, I live in the city, so I don't drive, so I have to get public transport everywhere. It's like it's exactly an 8-minute walk from here to the bus stop, and I hate that walk. It's just like one of those things that like just grinds away at your soul. So then I started taking my skateboard. I started taking my skateboard from the house to the bus, and then from the bus to the tattoo shop. And then I was just like, this would be so much easier if I didn't have to push the skateboard. And then obviously you see people like Casey Neistat and all these other people. Like you see people with like electric scooters, and I'm just like, I would look like such a nerd on an electric scooter, but I would look less of a nerd on an electric skateboard. So that's kind of my thought process. And then I was looking them up, and I was like, the price of that is just ridiculous. So then I was just like, okay, secondhand ones. And then there was some guy down in Leitrim that was selling one for secondhand, and I contacted him. I was meant to get a train down. Train got cancelled. Something to do with the police, like close the line or some shit. And then that's like all the information that we got. And I was like, that's great, thanks very much. Now I have to wait like 10 days for a refund on my train ticket. All this crazy. I had to fill out 4 pages of documentation just for a refund on a train ticket. That is crazy.
Well, it's good to know that you have to deal with just as much bullshit as we do in the States.
Like I swear to God, it's just ridiculous. So like every day is different. Like I get like when I do my Let's Get Dressed, like when I go to different events, like as an influencer, get invited to like movie premieres and stuff all the time, which is always really fun. And I think there was a point there where there was like 3 movie premieres in the space of like 2 weeks or something. And then obviously I'm doing the TikToks every day, and people was like, dude, how many films are you going to see? I'm like, it's not always like this, but sometimes it's like this. Like
I love that. You'll start it out and you'll be like, we're going to a movie premiere. And I'm like, the fuck is it? Every fucking day you go to a movie premiere.
I know, that's the thing, but like it's not always the case. And you know what, sometimes it as well, because like just the way TikTok works, like the For You page and the algorithm, like my videos never show up in like chronological order for people. No, ever. No. So you could see a video from like 2 weeks ago where I'm like, I'm going to a movie premiere, and then a video from yesterday where I'm like, I'm going to a movie premiere. Do you know what I mean? So like that's where that kind of thing comes from. But like it's really funny. I'm real particular with my calendar. Like anything at all that happens, it's in my calendar. So I'm like free tomorrow. And then on Friday, I'm hosting a Halloween party in a bar that I'm an ambassador for. And then on Saturday, I'm going down to Leitrim again, second attempt to try to get my electric skateboard. And then on Sunday, we're going down the countryside to family for Halloween. And then we're going to the West Coast to stay in a really cool Airbnb. But then on the way back from County Clare, I have like 3 events or something in the same day. So it's like a 2 or 3 hour journey from like Clare back to Dublin. But I have an event in a place called Kildare, so we'll have to do a slight detour, and then I get dropped off in Kildare, and then use the shuttle service that they've arranged for the influencers to get from there back into the city centre to go to another event. And then depending on how that event goes will determine whether I actually leave that event and go to another event before coming home. So that day is going to be a good day for the vlog because there's so much stuff going on.
Have you seen the movie Talladega Nights?
Yes.
Okay, so you remind me so much of his dad in the sense that he shows up to the school and he says, "It's okay, darling. I am a volunteer. I'm a semi-professional race car driver.
Semi-professional volunteer
firefighter and tattoo artist."
Yeah.
You are a jack of all trades, if I've ever heard of one.
Yeah, like I just like being busy. I like being busy. I don't know, like, you know that saying that the devil makes work for idle hands or whatever. Like I'm not a very religious guy, but I just hate being bored. I hate I hate being bored. I will try fill every waking minute of the day with something, whether that's making a video, whether that's editing a video, whether that's spending time with the people in my life that I love the most, whether that's doing some work, whether that's going to the tattoo shop, whether it's traveling to the other side of the country for a whole 45 minutes to buy an electric skateboard. I will find something to fill my hours with, no matter what it is.
You are the embodiment of idle hands are the devil's plaything.
Yeah, trust me.
You just, I think we've covered just about everything.
Yeah.
From
the only thing I haven't told you is my PPS number, which is well, you know everything else by now.
From influencer to fashionista to hair transplant survivor to human being to amateur tattoo artist. Just throw that in there. You are Damien Broderick, and it has been a pleasure to meet you, speak with you, and learn about your life. And I hope that in seeing this, the few people that see this will find you as interesting as I have, and just give you a little more boost and just understand who you are, because you're going to blow up. I feel it. I know it. And I want them to
I hope so. I hope so. I'm really hoping that my YouTube blows up, because I've heard some crazy stories of people earning ridiculous money from the ad revenue. So I'm hoping that it blows up, and then I can start to take off.
You've got something for everybody though, right? Fashion, tattoos, electric skateboard.
Big time. And I wear many hats, and hopefully if YouTube takes off, I can wear less of those hats.
That being said, I have enjoyed this. I hope to speak to you again soon. And
yeah, man, absolutely, for sure. It's been an absolute pleasure. And for the viewers, I'm very sorry that my camera is not working. But as we said, I'm a very open guy, but I'm also a very mysterious guy. So you'll have to follow my accent over to other platforms in order to see what I look like.
That being said, I'm Dan. He has been Damien Broderick, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.